Revenge is on the mind of every Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs fan. This week, the team has the chance to avenge the 66-0 loss that we suffered at the hands of the Newcastle Knights only a few weeks ago. This week, our team comes off a bye. The team is much better with more experience, and I'm sure they've got the taste of blood on their minds. And with that, I would just like to remind you that if you do want to celebrate the defeat of the Knights by 60 points next week, be sure to like and subscribe this podcast as we have a lot of content coming and there's some great things ahead. And with that, I'd like to introduce my co-host, Dibbo. Welcome, Dibbo. You're finally willing to flash the Dragons colours. You're not ashamed to show that you're a Dragons supporter anymore.
Yeah, look, in solidarity with Ryan Carr, who's running a weekly running battle with the NRL and its match officials. I mean, how long can you take blunder after blunder when it's costing your side a victory? Not just 1 week, but I think it's consecutive weeks. They've gone down by 6 points.
It's been the bunker's fault.
I mean, what's the bunker there for? Isn't there to cover up the ref's mistakes or things the ref doesn't see? But
who's going to cover up the bunker's mistakes? It
seems like the NRL walks through Newtown, looks at random cafes and just selects, okay, you're in the bunker this week. Because that's what it looks like. Because if an 8-year-old at home can see that's a strip and the bunker and the ref can't see it, then what hope do we have?
No, I agree
What's an apology going to do on a Monday?
Well, can you imagine if this happens in a finals game?
Because I'll tell you what, it's the weekly comedy show by the NRL. So the weekend finishes, you're like, okay, Monday the NRL is going to sit down at approximately 3 p.m. and issue an apology notice for XYZ teams, mainly the West Tigers or the Dragons or the Bulldogs, and say, look, it was wrong. It was a try. Yeah, we cost this victory. Okay, let's get ready for tomorrow.
Too bad.
Where's our 2 points, mate?
Yeah, too bad. You're too shit. You're not going to make the finals. We don't care enough.
Well, it's been like that since the start of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? I'll give the Warriors one thing. Their sponsor went, kaboom. And since then, the Warriors have actually gotten, bit more better rub of the green.
But to be fair, they've been playing very well.
They have, but they weren't really getting calls.
Yeah,
they were getting dudded.
They were getting dudded.
Now they get more calls. Still getting dudded occasionally, but they get more calls. Maybe the Dragons should just push out a sponsor as well, and maybe the Dogs and the
maybe Laundy should come out and blow up at the NRL, or take a go at Buzz, who seems to be following everyone at the Bulldogs' asses at the moment, trying to get a scoop. If you're watching this, Buzz, maybe you should quit your day job.
Mate, hang on a sec. Buzz said, didn't Buzz say, mark my words, Sullivan will be at feeding the scrum at the Bulldogs next year?
Mark his words.
Yeah, or did he mean the Tigers? Because somehow he's going to say that was a typo, eh?
Oh my God. It's ridiculous. And I called him out on Twitter, but he didn't respond.
Yeah, that's because I'll tell you why he has a response. Not because he ignored you, because he's probably getting called out by 3,000 other people at the
100%.
same time. So,
yeah. It's ridiculous. And, he's it's sort of showing just how poor of a job he's doing at the moment with all these calls that he's making. It's just
he writes for a tabloid, which is just basically on sensationalist headlines and rumors and gossip. It's never
of value.
Of value. That's what it is.
Anyway, forget the journalists. We're not here to talk about them. We are here to talk about the Bulldogs defeating the Knights this week by a big margin.
Big game coming up. One is out for revenge. The other one's chasing a final spot. So,
I think it's going to be a very, very big game for both teams. And to be honest,
driving up the M1?
Not this week.
Oh,
Not this week. Be watching it with a group of fans.
Going to be breaking the wall once the Knights prevail 40-18.
Look. I'll be honest with you.
I just predicted my scoreline.
I don't think that if we do lose, it'll be a big scoreline. But I actually think that the team will come out with a point to prove.
I'll tell you what. If you guys beat the Knights this week, it'll be your best win of the year. I'll say it now because he's got shellacked 66-0. Since then, you guys have bounced back. I know he's lost to Penrith away. It was about, 4 or 5 tries.
Yeah.
He's missing a lot of your side still. Everyone held great fears for your side. It was after that 66-0 shellacking that everyone was looking towards the record books, thought a new highest total was going to be scored. No. I mean, they played admirably. I know they were
but let me tell you something.
Man, 44-18, not too bad.
You know what's interesting about that is Melbourne could only put 6 points against Penrith in Penrith.
Yeah.
The Bulldogs, with their B grade side, was able to put 18 points
of course
on Penrith. People may think, they put the Q in the rack. No, No, they didn't. They were playing well. They were still.
You just got one guy that day. I think Avarillo was just slicing them up.
Oh,
Sorry,
but-
how did you let Avarillo go again?
Look, man, we can't keep going over this. I can't. My
I
heart
can't get over it.
My heart can't keep breaking.
I cannot dead
My
set
heart
get over
can't
it.
keep breaking.
I
Right?
can't get over it.
But it's interesting. I just want to make a point of the difference of the team that we have that will go into this week compared to the one that played them last time. Right. So this is only a prediction of what the side's going to look like. Yeah. But last time we versed them, we had Hayes Perham at fullback, Alamotti at center, Rajab at 6, Burden at 7. We had Jaden Ockenbaugh starting, Curtis Moran starting, Edwards, Topanai, and Faitala Mariner and Ryan Sutton on the bench, right? Like, if you count the inexperience, if you think about the inexperience in that team, it's ridiculous. And then you had Matt Burden playing out of position, Carter Rajab playing his second game, right? Paul Alamotti with his defensive struggles, Hayes Perham with his attacking struggles. We had such an inexperienced side, right? Compare it to the team that we had last game against the Dolphins.
And what a bounce back after. So they just went from strength to strength. Like I'm saying it, I'm not saying that they're peaking, but they bottomed out against Newcastle. And they've bounced back 2 games later. They've jagged a win.
Absolutely.
And I think they're almost, do you reckon if Tomo plays that will be their strongest team of the year?
That'll be the first time we're actually full strength.
Or thereabouts, yeah.
Full strength. So I don't know if Raiden Faitala Mariners is going to be playing this week. I don't think so. I just feel like there's a little bit there that's probably simmering there, a little bit of politics. But if Luke Thompson plays, technically we will have the strongest side all year.
That'll be lovely. He'll
Right?
come off the bench, I presume.
Oh, 100%. He can replace Corey Waddell or Harrison Edwards.
Two 10-minute stints. Perfect.
More than enough. And then Hughes wasn't chosen last week either. Oloapu comes back this week as well. And Gus Gould's actually said that Luke Thompson has put his hand up.
Is Carl going to play first or reserves?
I think he might play reserves for the time being. But Phil Gould did say on Twitter that Luke Thompson has put his hand up to be chosen for the first grade team against the Knights. And honestly, I don't think with 4 games left, we can not play him. Right? Let's play him. Let's get him 10, 15-minute stints. I mean, you look at, for example, even Viliami Kikau.
Is that 2 games in reserves, right, Tomo?
One. Or 2, I think, 2 with this week. With the week that... No, actually, I'm not sure.
Did they play on the bye weekend?
I don't think they didn't play on the bye weekend.
Ooh, might be short.
Might be a little bit short.
Damn.
But if you look at Kikau, he came straight back from injury, straight into the starting side, played 60 minutes.
Oh, he didn't play reserves, not 1 week?
Dolphins, no. He came
Then he
straight
might
back.
play. Come on, Tomo. Get in there.
Come in there, put 2 15-minute stints, go in there, just get in there, destroy
Get
some
in
forwards.
there, destroy some forwards, show your future employers, the Dragons, what they expect next year.
I mean, look, if
Hey, he's a Blaker Slogu. I'll see him around.
if we don't end up re-signing him for a little bit less than what we've been paying for him the last few years, I hope he goes to a good team because I think he has a lot to offer the NRL. I really hope he doesn't leave.
I hope he stays. I don't want to see him go back to England.
Not yet.
Look, preferably I like to see him stay at Canterbury. I just think they never got to see his potential.
Agreed.
I'm not going to say no if he does come to the Dragons. Obviously, I'm sure anyone that signs him won't be on the same contract.
Yeah, I agree.
Regardless.
I agree.
Might have some incentives in there. That's what probably will get him back to what he was earning before.
Yeah.
That's how they probably should base it.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm sure Phil Gould knows his potential, and Phil Gould is keeping an eye on the market. So, I mean, whatever happens. But I just want to see him this week go out there and go kamikaze on Newcastle Knights. Like, at the moment, my most dislike.
Is Newcastle missing anyone?
I think they're missing one of the Saifidi brothers. They're still missing the Brayley, the hooker.
Does Skeleton play this week?
No, so
Match him up against Marju.
I actually think the starting 13 won't change from last week, from the last game. So we've got Jake Averillo. So what I think will happen is it'll be the same. Jake Averillo, Blake Wilson, Jacob Kiraz, Braden Burns, Josh Adokar, Matt Burton, Toby Sexton, Max King, Reid Marnie, Tavita Pangai Jr., Viliami Kikau, Jacob Preston, Ryan Sutton.
Averillo at fullback, eh?
Absolutely has to be there.
Centers are
Kiraz and Burns.
very good.
Very, very good centre pairing, right? Burns, he played
Burns
very
should
well
mark
last
up
week.
against Bradman best.
Yeah, I think so.
His defenses I find better than Kiraz. Not take anything away.
I think he can turn and run a bit better than Kiraz. I feel like Kiraz's problem is turning and running a little bit.
Kiraz will be better off facing against Gagai.
You reckon?
I think Burns will be better defensively against Bradman. Jeez, don't let me down, mate.
But also, the good thing about Burns is a bit taller than Best. So I think maybe if he can get his arm, he can maybe get his arm around and give a pass out to Josh Adokar.
Braden's quicker than Kiraz as well. So
yeah,
and Bradman Best has got a quite an amount of speed for a big man.
That's right. He does.
He's very fast for someone so big.
And I think, look, on the bench, if Raymond Faitala-Mariner does come back, he'll be on the bench. I think we'll have Liam Knight on the bench, hopefully Luke Thompson, and then maybe like a Carl Flanagan.
Yeah, your bench looks like it's got starch all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, it's like, what the heck?
Well, where was this for 5.5 months? Or
Injuries.
5 months? I know, it's crippling.
But honestly, I feel like, and you look at with Toby Sexton, he's played with us 3 games. We've won 2 out of the 3 with Toby Sexton at 7 and Burton at 6. I know it's early days, but there is a stark difference with Toby Sexton at 7. You can't convince me that the Bulldogs don't look like a different team with Sexton at 7.
Can the Bulldogs win a premiership with Sexton at 7?
I'll be honest with you. It's not about Sexton. It's about the forwards that
it's your whole squad. It's your whole squad.
Yeah.
Which I will get to Souths later on.
But I do think that Sexton is young enough and has enough time to continue to grow into a premiership winning 7. I'm not saying as it stands he can, but I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying that if he has a really good solid front row in front of him or forwards in front of him and a good utility off the bench, right? I think the sky's the limit. I think his ceiling is really high. That's what I honestly, and I think it was such a smart move by Phil Gould to grab Sexton out of Queensland Cup, wherever he was playing, and say, come here, we're going to give you a 7 spot.
It was either him on, 300K or Luke Brooks on a 800.
Look, this guy's younger, right?
He's $500,000 cheaper.
$500,000 cheaper, but I think he's young enough to be able to build that long-term relationship with Matt Burton. Matt Burton's also still very young. I think he's 22. Toby Sexton's 22.
Burton will end up in the centres?
Honestly, Burton's a good... Burton, if you look at the way Burton's playing as a 5'8".
I'm trying to push your buttons. Why isn't it happening?
Because look, I think I understand that he's a great centre, but I think his kicking game and his try assists speak for themselves. I think he's a great 5'8", and he'll just get better. The more he learns to use his running game and trust Toby Sexton to organise,
can he play? Do you reckon he can end up at lock? That'll be nice. A kicking lock. Wow.
I don't see why we would move him from 6 if he's doing well.
He needs time anyway. Look, he hasn't really had any combinations to sit with.
I mean,
it's a tough one. Because he can cover a lot of positions with
I
distinction.
I can see Aloapu at lock.
Oh, Carl. I reckon Carl. Give him time. He's still young. Like, he's got to develop his running game.
He's 18.
It reminds me of a young Milford.
No, he's a bit bigger than Milford.
No, I'm just saying the way he can run the ball and break the line and all that.
He could.
He's a bigger body too.
Yeah, but he's a good hitter. He's a big hitter. Like, he's put some big shots on.
I don't think you'd want to play lock. He's too young to go there now. I think he's in the back line.
But he's part of the future of the Bulldogs, 100%. He's a freak.
Of course
he's an absolute freak.
Yeah.
So, look, do I think that the Bulldogs are going to win, remarkably? Maybe. If we go out there and, Ciro's telling them every single day, 66-0, 66-0, really driving that passion, that emphasis, I think we can definitely win. I have no doubt we can win. And in fact, we're a good chance.
I hope they choose Tomo this week. That'll be a morale booster for the troops.
It'll be a massive morale booster.
You get a couple of thousand Canterbury fans going up.
Can you imagine having, let's say Carl Flanagan is chosen as the utility, right? Then you've got Tomo, Raymond Faitala-Mariner, and who else did we say? Liam Knight on the bench. That's a big bench.
What's going on with Raymond Faitala-Mariner? Is he still throwing a stink? Did they say you can go or you're playing for your future? What's the go?
I mean, Phil Gould came out and categorically denied anything. He said that's not true. And even
so it's just another Daily Shittigraph rumour?
Honestly, that's what it looks like. Because even his manager has come out and said he's asked the club about these rumours and the club has said nothing.
Oh, so it's just a malicious attempt to destabilise the club again.
Yeah. But it just seems like Gould at the moment is impervious to that, which is great because he doesn't care. It's like he's going to do what he needs to do and he's just going to go on with it. And it doesn't really matter.
Good on him.
Yeah. Look, the journos seem to do more harm than good. Like, you look at the Tigers and how much shit they've been going through.
The journos just run their own personal agendas.
100%.
And yeah, unfortunately, we just get a lot of lies and attention away from what's actually happening in the game. They're actually not as good as for the game as people think they are.
Some are. Look, there are some great journalists.
Sorry, I'll rephrase. That last sentence I made was aimed at certain journos. So the News Corp journos.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
Spot on. But I will say, though, The Knights are on a roll. They've won 5 games in a row, right? And they're knocking on the top 8 store. So it's not as though the Knights are in bad form. It will be a challenge.
This top 8 race now involves, I'll probably put an X through Manly. I've already put an X through Gold Coast.
Actually, the Knights are in the 8. They're 7th. And Rabbitohs are 8th.
All right. So now it's down to, this is probably who's vying for it. Well, Canberra won that crucial win on the weekend. So it's probably going
Well,
down.
they shouldn't have. The NRL also came out and said that Sebastian Chris's try was off a forward pass.
That was 2 metres forward. And that wasn't the first 2 metre forward he let go. There was one before that he let go.
Blind Freddie could have seen he was
forward. And then
forward.
about a minute later, Canberra throw the ball backwards and ref calls forward pass. What's going on?
I don't know. It's
when did these guys decide to start reffing and watching NRL when they were 27 years old?
Let me tell you something. This week has been the most poorly officiated round of rugby league I have ever seen.
Can I point something out? You say that every week, so it must be getting worse every week.
It really is. Like, if you remember early on in the season, the rugby league product was amazing, and we were calling out
First 5 or 6 weeks was amazing.
Incredible.
But we always kept saying we're worried the officials are going to ruin it for us. Lo and behold.
Look what they've done.
Of course.
No, but this week specifically,
I blame obviously the lay of the blame is at the NRL solely. Don't worry about the officials. They're put there. It's like the same guy, I don't know what they call it these days, Service New South Wales, they call it, used to be called RTA, the Roads and Traffic Authority. Somebody gets given a driver's license, they can't drive for shit. Sorry about this, language. But whose fault is that? The person trying to get his driver's license or the idiot that's passed him?
Yeah, agreed.
So the NRL's put him in there, blame the NRL.
I think the NRL has a lot to has a big responsibility to burden. If you look at the Manly and Roosters game, was the most drab affair I've ever seen. Like, I was just like, I'm falling asleep.
Why haven't you poked your eyes out to stay awake?
I should have. Honestly, I should have, because it was a horrible game. What was that, like that send-off for Nathan Brown? I mean, what is a send-off anymore? What constitutes a send-off?
The bad one for me of the week was Tom Burgess goes in, absolutely wallops Hazelton. Where was that high? Hazelton got nailed in a ball and all tackle. There was nothing there to suggest it was high. Now he's looking at 4 weeks. Whereas Luai leapt off the ground, shoulder into the face.
I'm sorry, that was
copped a $3,000 fine, and because Felice Kafusi watched it, he got a 4-week suspension instead. That's how the NRL operates these days. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
Burgess cops 4 weeks. Wallop doing a ball and all tackle. Hasn't just got smashed.
It was a great tackle. It was a great
tackle.
Hit.
The other guy leaps off the ground, hits him in the face. Mind you, it doesn't get stopped on the field. Melbourne could have had a chance to go down and score instead. It would have been, maybe 12-all or 12-6 Melbourne's way. Instead, gets ignored. Penrith go the other way. I think score. And then it gets put on report. But no sin bin, nothing. And now
the match review committee only gave him a fine.
A fine. I think we're going to get suspended as well. Just for mentioning. This is how the NRL operates.
It's ridiculous.
Look, I'm just going to point out one thing. I don't think Penrith gets the rub of the green for calls and all that, but just,
No, I don't think they do.
I'm just pointing out how the NRL is so way off in inconsistencies, Champion side, this Penrith side, but I'm just pointing out something.
No, I agree with you. And I was going to say, it's not targeting Luai. I think I love Luai. And if you follow me on Twitter, which you can, if you look at the links below, we've got Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
I hope Jerome stays at Penrith. He's got that combo with Cleary going.
I think they'll win 5 or 6 grand finals together if they stay.
I know, that's worrying. But yeah,
I think amazing though.
They're looking, first they've got to get past the trebles likely.
Who's going to stop them?
I mean, I thought South's about 2 months ago, but they've fallen off completely.
Nah. I told you.
The closest challenge now is either looking like
Broncos or Warriors.
Broncos, but then the Cowboys fell away again, So it's like, is it just the Broncos now all of a sudden? Because I don't think the Broncos have the defensive resolve to hold out Penrith.
I'm telling you, the Warriors are third, man. People are underestimating what the Warriors can do.
I'll tell you one thing about Warriors and Broncos. If they defend well, they can.
It's just got to be a freakish...
And one thing about Penrith is they defend well. On the fringes there, you got Targo and Crichton in the centres.
What a centre pairing.
Impossible to pass. And then you got Taruva and To'o on the wings.
Oh, my God.
That's just that. It's, and then it's those fringes, they defend
so well.
It's an
impenetrable wall.
And you're not going to impenetrate that in that middle with Leota and Fisher Harris.
Oh, my God.
And the captain, Isaiah Yeo and Martin. And, Cleary defends like he's a forward.
He's a great defender.
Luai defends really well too.
It's just such a perfectly rounded team. Like, it's incredible. Like, they lose players every single year and they perform better.
Like, the weakest player, and taking nothing away from him, is Penrith's hooking position, And last year they had Arpey, like you watch him with West Tigers, and he almost carries them to a win.
He really does. He does everything for the Tigers.
They lost Arpey, and they're still like looking like about to get the treble.
It's incredible, really. Like what they've done over there with the Panthers is it's mind-boggling.
And then you look at Penrith's bench, and their bench is better than like starting forwards or starting players at other sides. Like you got Spencer Leniu on there, and you just think, right, like wow.
And you get Jamin Salmon.
Yeah,
who can just play in anywhere in the team.
Leniu, I thought was robbed not to be in the New South Wales side
100%.
for all 3 games.
100%. What? Anyway, let's not get there because I'll start. Yeah, that.
But you know what? I'll give it the Dogs one thing. Like they've identified where the talent is, which players they got to sign. They've gone to Penrith. That's where the talent is, but they've been signing the wrong players from Penrith. right, club.
Wrong players.
Just sign the big boppers from Penrith.
Nah, look, I think
they also went to Souths. They've signed some good ones.
Yeah, I think Liam Knight.
I thought Liam Knight had a good debut.
Oh, Liam Knight ran for 90 metres off,
I just thought
25 minutes.
It was a big body out there. That's what Canterbury need. Experience.
Yeah. Look,
it was no walkover.
Yeah, I mean,
Blake Taff will go good for you next year, despite the haters.
And I think, look,
I hope Takiaho goes well. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. But I just want to go back to the Knights v Dogs. In the last game, some of the statistics stand out for me in defense for the Bulldogs that
Is this against the Dolphins or?
Knights.
Oh, you're bringing up the 66-0 shellacking?
Yeah.
Jeez. That hurts even hearing that score.
We made an extra 150 tackles, more than the Knights.
So he's basically played another half or another half and a bit of footy.
Do you want to take a guess at how many missed tackles we had?
Like, how many tackles do you have the whole game or in the one half?
We had 385 tackles in the whole game.
Well, he must have had about probably 85 missed tackles.
We had 63.
63. I don't think I've ever seen that many tackles. Or how much did the Tigers have that same week?
I'm not going to look at the Tigers. Leave the Tigers.
I don't think I've ever heard a team making more than 40 or 30 missed tackles. 63.
63 missed
tackles.
tackles.
That's literally a tackle every... That's literally 2 or 3 tackles every set.
Yeah.
2 tackles, yeah. Jeez.
63 missed tackles.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. And our effective tackle percentage was only 82%.
No, you got to be an NRL. I think you got to be about 98%. But like, wasn't Seraldo the defensive coach? I just like bringing up pointlessly.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just different quality players, different class of players,
different everything.
Course,
just inexperience. Like on that side with Bradman Best, like we probably missed 40 tackles on that side.
The guy's held his nerve for about 5 months now. You know, he's in the professional leagues.
I think he's done well.
I think a lot of other guys would have thrown in the towel and broken already.
Well, I mean, if you look at us getting some players back last week and how we performed, you got to think to yourself, you know, maybe it was out of his control with all the injuries we had.
I like to see Tomo play this week. I like to see a full strength Canterbury and Jagger win. Maybe their fans will come out in droves the following. Who's got the week after?
That's a good question. Actually.
Dragons, please.
No. Damn. I'll just tell you. I think we have the Raiders.
Ooh.
Let me just check.
Near 30-year anniversary coming up.
One sec.
Anyways, while he has a look, I just want to point out. Oh, Raiders, eh?
It is the Raiders, yeah. We're versing the Knights and then the Raiders, and I think to be honest,
is the Raiders away from home?
It's hang on. It will be in Canberra.
Oh wow, I got 2 mates, Alvarez and Milan, both Canberra fans. I mean, I think they'll be asking for me to drive down with them.
To be honest, last time we played the Raiders, we only lost to them by 4 points.
That's right.
And we were still missing half our team. So
you guys played dreadful that day.
We did.
Some of those bombs that Burden put up, they were absolute skyscrapers. Do you remember?
I do remember.
I don't know how.
He kept us in the game.
I don't know how. No, you know who saved Canberra that day? That Rapana. Yeah. He's an absolute freak. He's ageless. He'll go on for another 3 years, I reckon, to 35, 36. Doesn't seem to be slowing down.
He's playing fullback as well.
Remember those skyscrapers he took that day? He saved them.
He did. So, look, what I want to predict that I think the Bulldogs will win 36-22.
That'd be nice.
I think they'll win. I do think they'll win.
I could see you driving right up to Newcastle after the game just to, you hate the Novocastrians, eh?
Look, in general, I don't dislike Newcastle, but they put 66 on us. I'll never forget.
The city or the town?
Right, I don't mind Newcastle. Right,
City's a shithole.
I don't mind Newcastle. I don't mind the team. I don't mind the players. I don't think I just don't like Adam O'Brien. I think he's full of himself.
Really?
Yeah. But I think they have a good team. I love Ponga.
I just think when you're in the professional leagues, you got to be full of yourself. You're allowed to be anyway.
Yeah, but not the way he is. He hasn't proven himself, and he's like, do you know who I am? Get out of my face. You know what I've done? Get out of my face.
You know what's funny? Ever since Melbourne laughed at him, Bellamy and
They haven't lost the game.
5 straight. And Melbourne's going on a slide instead.
What's your call? What do you think will happen against the Knights?
I think the Knights, because they don't want to let up. They're going to want this so bad because Canterbury's sitting in 15th. Obviously, they'll give them an extra confidence that these are so low, and because they walloped you guys 66-0 last time, that they'll go, yeah, we can wallop them again. Obviously, they feel that they can't wallop you 66-0. So I'm still going to go the Knights, but 40-18. I don't think you guys. I'll tell you now. I think you will be in the game for about 65 to 70 minutes, and then a late flurry will get them home.
There is no way the Knights will put 40 on the Bulldogs.
Jeez,
I'm willing. If I was a betting man, I would bet the house on it.
That would be nice if they don't.
There is no way.
I'll tell you what. It'll be nice if you guys come back with a win.
Let me tell you, there is no way the Knights are going to put 40 on the Bulldogs.
Well, I hope it's not.
Trust me, there is no way the Knights will put 40 on the Bulldogs. I just think
just the situation.
They won't put 40 on us. If they win, they'll win by golden point or we'll get dudded. But there's no way the Knights will put 40 on us.
I won't be surprised about the dudded call. I'm
telling you.
I won't be surprised.
There's no way the Knights will put 40 on the Bulldogs.
That's what I'm just thinking.
No.
I'm just thinking you guys will be in it. It'll be a tussle for about 65 to 70 minutes. I just think their fitness will get them home in the end. I'll say now, Canterbury's fitness ain't the best.
No, it's not
horrible. It's up there with the worst, along with the Dragons.
Yeah, our fitness is. But we've also had, if you look at like our inconsistency in the first grade team, if you look at all the injuries we've had
a lot of injuries. Of course.
Yeah,
I just think it's at that point of the season. I mean, you guys want revenge, but I just think they got something more to play for. They're in 7th. Like, wow. They were, how long, 5 weeks ago? They were sitting, 14th?
Something like that, yeah.
I think they were equal with you guys.
Yeah. Well, before they beat us, they were only 2 points ahead of us. We could have actually overtaken them. They're
riding that wave, So that's why I'm just using those as excuses, basically.
There's no way they'll pull 40 on us.
They got the odds stacked in their favour. They got a home game. They bet you last time 66-0. They're full of confidence. They look at you guys seeing you in 15th. They're going to think, all right, how long did they play you? 3 weeks ago?
5 weeks ago.
Look, a lot can change. Do you remember, obviously, West Tigers and North Queensland? You saw the points. What was the first one? 66-18?
Something like that.
How far apart? 4 weeks?
No, it was about 2 months.
No, not that much.
Maybe 5 weeks, maybe? 5, 6
yeah, something like that, maybe less. And then 74-0.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'll be ecstatic for you guys.
Look, we're not going to put 74 on them, but I just
I'll be ecstatic if you guys jag the win.
We win.
I'd love for you guys
to
win.
Yeah,
Mark
my words. I want you guys, what do you guys think? Do you think the Bulldogs will beat the Knights? And I want you to mark my words and come back after the Knights game and tell me what's happened. Because I think the Bulldogs will win.
Mark Buzz Red's comments.
No, please do not.
That the Dogs are going to win. He's going to get Canterbury berries tatted on him.
No. Tattoos are haram. We don't do tattoos here at the Kennel. Just in some more rugby Bulldogs news, Moran has verbally agreed to terms to re-sign with the Bulldogs.
That's nice. He's get some extra depth, which is good.
Edwards is also in talks and wants to stay at the Bulldogs, which I think is great because they're young guys that are coming up and have shown that they've got it in them.
Can I ask? I keep going through the signings and I'll ask you something.
Frank Pele has signed for Hull FC.
He's gone, eh?
Yeah, he's gone to the UK Super League. I mean, to be honest, I don't know.
Was he first grade? His fitness was a problem, or what was it?
I don't want to make a judgment.
The rigors of training week in, week out.
I always thought that when he came on, he made a big impact. He was one of the hardest runners.
How old is he?
Young, he's 22, 23.
22. So he can go to England for years and come back. He'll be nice and prime. Just work on your fitness.
Yeah.
I think that might work in his favour.
Look, it could. He'll become a cult hero there, but I don't know.
Or he might stay there for the rest of his career.
On the big dollars, why not?
He'll play about 30, 40 minutes there. Their game's not as quick, taxing as here.
I don't know why he's not staying or why the Doggies didn't want to keep him.
I don't know that. It's weird. He wouldn't play. Sometimes
we'd have all these injuries and he still not get chosen.
Something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, he broke his hand and then we hadn't. Yeah,
they didn't manage him well. I don't know. It was him. there's a few factors. It's a tough world out there when it comes to rugby league. It's very,
100%.
very competitive.
And I think also Gus is starting to clear out some of that
Deadwood.
Maybe I don't want to
Let's not
disrespect
call
the
him
players. Like call
Deadwood. But, all right, can I ask? So you've lost Pele, you've lost Avarillo, who's not a Deadwood, but who else have you guys lost for next year?
So
Reynolds gone, obviously.
Yeah, Reynolds gone, but we haven't re-signed Flanagan, who's off contract.
I think he's gone. Yep.
Braden Burns is off contract.
Oh, yeah, they should retain him. Yep.
They have to retain him. Then we got Luke Thompson.
Yeah, Tomo. Yep.
Who else is there?
Ockenball.
Oh yeah, Ockenball.
Yep. Jaden,
Ockenball hasn't been re-signed yet.
He'll get picked up.
Waddell. He won't get re-signed by the Bulldogs.
I think he'll either get picked up here, or I think he's more likely to go overseas.
I feel like he could go to another NRL team and flourish.
West Tigers or Dragons.
No, even a top grade team. I think he could go and flourish with a
He's
better.
good enough to be in there. Of
Yeah,
course.
100%. That's what I
You've
mean.
got a 30-man squad.
Yeah.
It adds absolute value to it.
Massive value. I just don't think that he's the type of player the Bulldogs need
At the moment, exactly.
Yeah. Like no. Like when he's played for us, like there have been games where he's made 45 tackles and 190 meters. Like there's no
stats. Yeah.
No disrespect to him at all. I just think that we need to be able to buy some of those.
I think he can go to Penrith. Take Jamin.
He'll be amazing at Penrith.
Of course he will.
Oh my god, can you imagine him at Penrith?
Penrith's so good. They get rid of. They keep their core players. They get rid of, for example, the ones fighting to be in the 17. And then what happens is they've got that much talent coming up for the lower grades. They get all them on the minimum wage of 150K and they fit the salary cap. And these guys are probably worth 400K or 350 or 300.
Yeah.
They keep them for a few years. And then either they upgrade them or see you later. And then,
cycle them.
They come off the production line.
It's a mad.
That's why they're looking at a lengthy stint at the top. St. George's records starting to look in danger.
Chris Patolo's out for the rest of the year, so he's got to have knee surgery and then to prepare for the preseason, which I don't mind. I think it's good. When he played a couple of games this year, I thought he did well. So I'm happy that they're planning for 2024, which is a smart move. Sam Hughes re-signed, and the Doggies are no longer after Connor Watson.
Yep, that's all right. I think he's had too many similar type players.
If you sign Blake Taff, I mean...
He's definitely an asset to any side he plays for, but I just think he had Taff, he's had Salmon, he's had Olawapu. Yeah, the sort of players that can play
have enough utilities, I think. Yeah.
Plus there's a few others in there. Morin.
Plus I think you'll be asking for too much money, to be honest, like for what we want to pay.
Of course.
So I think it's a good, 2024 is shaping up to be well, but I mean, we'll be saying this now for 3 years, so let's see how we go.
Hopefully injury. Look, first thing foremost, you want to be injury free as much as you can.
that's the thing.
Of course, injuries are going to happen, but not like this year too. This year was horrendous.
But I also think our depth was rubbish.
Yeah,
our depth was so bad. Of
course, they're getting that right.
Yeah, that's what.
Like a lightning strike twice. I hope not.
You hope not. Now on that, I just wanted to sort of change tact a little bit and talk about the top 8.
Yep.
We sort of alluded to this a little bit earlier. But if you look at, so the Sharks had a good win over the Rabbitohs on the weekend. I thought the Rabbitohs just looked ordinary. Looked like they were...
Honestly, the Rabbitohs and their fans and their players, honestly, get your heads out of what and stop thinking you're a one-man side. Because if you want to be a premiership contender, you can't just rely on Latrell.
100%.
Because, Latrell wasn't there. He's won some, he's lost some. But now he's there. He's just all looking at Latrell to do everything.
In the game. And
it's just crazy. Like they're down 26-0 and it's just not in one game. It's numerous games. Yeah, they almost get there in the end.
Yeah.
But what's the last 10 minutes going to do? Okay, you
scored, little too late.
You scored 4 tries in the last 10 minutes multiple times this year. But what's that going to do when you got 0 points?
Yeah, 100%.
Stop looking at Latrell to do stuff because he ain't going to fire if he ain't going to be going forward. I'm sure if you're firing, you know what? I'll tell you. You know what? South signed Inglis. They signed Latrell. You just don't deserve them. Sorry.
Oh, it's a bit harsh.
I don't care. They get these players, forget it.
That's a bit harsh.
You want to be a one-man show. They get the best players, and look how they, what's going on. They're sitting in 8th, fair income.
Yeah, look, to be honest, I actually think it's...
I'm absolutely disgusted by that side because they show so much promise, and then you watch the game, and you can tell it's not their coaching, it's just these players sit there in slumberland looking at Latrell to do everything.
Do you think... So, because if I was to look at the Eels team, right, they have a great team.
Who?
The Eels.
Their window's closing, hopefully.
They have an incredible team. And it doesn't make sense to me right?
What are they sitting in now?
They're ninth, yeah.
Jeez, they've been on the end of some very, very favourable calls this year, numerous games. I mean, if they win, they would even be like ninth. They'd be like 13th, 14th, maybe lower.
Yeah, 100%.
Honestly, they've won games on the back of the ref.
100%. Well, I mean, they won against the Dragons on the back of the ref.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out other games as well. Like that, I don't think Para's even been dudded out of a win this year.
No.
They've been gifted wins.
Yeah, that's right. And like...
But, I mean, their side, I mean, Junior Paulo, it's Junior Paulo now, 31, 30.
Yeah. I mean, but Junior Paulo's still got years in him.
He's got a couple.
But I just... look, I actually don't think they'll win a grand final with the team they've got. I don't think that Mitchell Moses is a grand final winning halfback. He's great, but he's not a grand final winning halfback.
I mean...
Neither is Gutho.
Have they got anyone for next year?
Well, they've got Dylan Brown.
No, I'm saying, have they done any signings?
I don't think they have. Nothing.
Their window's starting to shrink again.
Their window is starting to shrink.
So their window's probably going to go out again for another 10 or 15 years.
Yeah. I reckon they'll go 50 years without a grand final.
On top of this year?
Yeah.
So they'll be like 87 years.
He's hoping they go the 100.
We won't be around. 87 years, fair income.
And look, the Rabbitohs, you know, they're still in 8th, but they're on the way out. Like I don't see...
They got the easiest run home and they can't win games that they should be winning.
You know...
They lost against the Dragons. They lost against the Dogs. They lost against Cronulla. They should have shellacked them by 30 or 40. They barely got home against the West Tigers.
And
they barely... They got some... They were lucky to get home against the Tigers.
And then they got home against the Tigers and they're like, the Rabbitohs are back. No, they're not.
No, everyone knew.
I don't rate Dimitri. I think he's too much of a sook. Every time something happens, oh my God. He just get on with the coaching, brother. You've got a fantastic team. Your forward depth is incredible.
I think he's trying to use the Wayne Bennett school of thought.
He's no Wayne Bennett.
Did you see Wayne on the weekend?
Oh, he didn't want to have a bar of it.
Yeah, he doesn't change. You know, they sent one poor guy, one poor local from Perth. He probably writes for like the Mandurah newspaper, right? Or Broome or somewhere there. And Wayne just saw, okay, this is a lamb to slaughter. I'm just going to
honestly, that's what it felt like.
Sharpen my knife. And yeah, poor bloke.
Who do you think out of... There's Sharks on 28, Knights on 27, Rabbitohs on 26, Eels on 26, Cowboys on 26, Sea Eagles on 25.
How many spots left?
That's out of 3 spots.
Is that from 6th to...
That's from 6th to 11th.
So Sharks are in 6th.
Sharks are in 6th.
Absolute pretenders.
Yeah.
What's their run home like? They've got an easier run than Para. Them and Para got the 2 hardest runs, eh?
They've got a pretty hard run, to be honest.
Para and Sharks?
Yeah, so the Sharks, I'll tell you.
The Sharks will get favourable calls, probably.
The Sharks have the Titans, then the Cowboys, then the Knights, then the Raiders. That's actually a really interesting run home. Because, like...
Can Canberra still slide out? Or they just got too much of a gap?
Canberra's got 30 points. If they only win 1 or 2, they'll be in the top 8.
Yeah, okay.
So I think Canberra will be there.
All right, let's just let Sticky go for now. So you never know. They might lose all of them. But... all right. Can you read out South's run home?
Yeah.
Let's hear this.
Give me a sec. I'll read them out to you.
The Dragons.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Dragons spring an upset. Honestly.
No, it won't happen. Not with Latrell. Yeah.
Did you see how they played? The Dragons played?
Against who?
Against the Eels. They played so well. Honestly.
They can't seem to... It's Tyrell Sloan by himself. Have you realised? No one else has got pace on that side.
So they're versing the Dragons, then the Knights, then they've got a bye, and then they've got the Roosters. So
this is Souths.
Yeah, they may very well have to.
Souths got 4 points at least. They got to win 3 out of the 4, I think. It's.
If you reckon 30 points won't get you into the top 8?
No. It'll probably be. They'll need to win 3 out of 4.
That's going to be so close
because it's so competitive.
Yeah, it's going to be. Really
so there's 3 spots.
I think the Knights, the Seagulls are rubbish. If they make the top 8.
Did you include the Seagulls in there?
Well, I did because they're on 25 points.
No, don't include Seagulls.
The Seagulls are rubbish. And you know what? They're not going to...
Newcastle's run home? St. George, Canterbury. Fuck, they got an easy... Oh, sorry. Yeah, they got an easy one.
So Newcastle have the Doggies, then the Rabbitohs, then the Sharks, then the Dragons.
Dragons away?
Dragons at Ned Strata.
Yeah, Cogra.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Another final game of the
season.
That's going to be a Dragons victory. Remember what the Dragons did to the Broncos last year?
Yeah.
Do you remember Finney's try? I think he ran for like 10
Yeah,
Broncos.
I remember that.
Halves, yeah.
But I mean, like the run home for these teams is so interesting because they're all sort of coming up against each other, and it just
It reminds me of the 90s.
I can't wait.
Every week, your heart will be in your mouth as
Yeah.
a kid. And like, where's my team on the ladder, you know? Because I don't know if you remember, teams like Canterbury and St. George would leave their run to the last 6 weeks to 8 weeks and just fly up that ladder. Do you notice how many times they made the grand final from 6th or 7th?
Yeah.
Oh, them two were known for it.
Man, in 1995, they made it from 9th.
No, not 9th, 6th.
No.
You're talking about 98 was 9th.
Oh, sorry, 98. Apologies. Yeah, 98.
No, I
Yeah.
remember 95 because Canterbury holds the record for being the most lowly ranked side.
To make a winning grand
But
final.
you know what? I'll tell you why it was a sham, that 6th position, because in 94, I think Canterbury were the minor premiers. Yes, they were. In 93, I think they came second. In 92, they were the minor premiers.
Yeah.
And then 95, what happened was they had an injury toll at the start, plus a bit of indifferent form.
Yeah.
And then they came flying
came
home.
flying
Then St.
through.
George came.
Yeah.
And it was just a shame that they both met in the first week of the finals.
The doggies were too good.
Yeah, they were
As
actually.
usual. And then the Cowboys this week they have a bye.
Can I point out something though?
Wait.
You'll like this because they clashed so many times. I think they split the wins in the 90s. Because St. George knocked them out in 93 in the preliminary final. Canterbury knocked them out in the quarters in 95, albeit a controversial decision. And then,
Oh my God!
listen, then 98, yeah, the Shepherds.
Get out of here!
And then
bro.
98, Canterbury knocked Dragons out. They got them back. And then 2001, the Dragons knocked Canterbury out. It was tit for tat.
Yeah,
and
and
you
then-
guys got us again.
2004 didn't when you guys knocked out by the Panthers.
Yeah, first week.
Yeah,
First time
that's
it's only ever happened to a 5th place side. Crazy, eh?
I remember that was so crazy. Cowboys run home. They have the Sharks. They have a bye this week. Then they have the Sharks. Then they have the Dolphins. Then they have the Panthers.
That's the Cowboys. So can you say it again?
So this week is a bye. Then they have the Sharks next week, and then
Home or away? Please tell me home.
no home.
Yes. Yep.
And then they've got Dolphins at Suncorp,
Ooh.
and then they've got Panthers in Penrith.
It comes down to that game against the Dolphins.
Yeah, I reckon it does too.
I still think they can dent the Panthers. They might cause the Panthers big problems on a lot of fronts.
I reckon
That last game is probably the most crucial of the whole comp to see what happens in the premiership race.
I reckon Panthers might rest players in that game.
Not risk them for injury.
Yeah, because they would have won. I think if they win all the games, the Panthers, they get them on a premiership.
All right, I'll tell you I'm going to go for my last three off the base of that last comment. Cowboys, Rabbitohs. Where are the Roosters?
No, Roosters are done. They're 24.
Oh, they're too far.
And not just that, the Roosters are rubbish. They beat who did they beat this week? Wait, I'll check. I think the Roosters are absolute garbage.
Para's got a decent run or not really?
They beat Manly. Manly's a horrible team, and that honestly, Roosters was so bad.
All right, I'll tell you what, it's going to be Cronulla. Sorry, I have to chuck Cronulla in as much as I dislike them. Cronulla, Souths, and Cowboys are my three. Newcastle and Para will miss out.
I think Para misses out. I think the Rabbitohs might miss out.
That's personal with the Parramatta.
No, I just don't think they're
Go on.
for them to almost
I
lose
didn't
to
tip them either.
for them to almost lose to the Dragons the way they did.
They won a few games by the ref. They shouldn't even be in the race.
I don't think that their form is any good.
Newcastle shouldn't have won last week either.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Oh, sorry,
No, I
but
agree,
they shouldn't even be. They should be at long odds as well.
But Newcastle, even this week against the you mean against the Dolphins, they shouldn't have won.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. No, I do see what you're saying. I think that Eels and Rabbitohs miss out. Unless maybe not the Rabbitohs. I think Eels and Knights will miss out.
It'd be nice if Cronulla misses out, so I can just suck it to their fans.
They've won too
Because
many.
they're another side. They're another team that've had a strong squad for a number of years, and if they don't do anything in their current squad, their window will start shrinking as well. How long do you retain the same players and the other players up and coming?
They've got a lot of good
players. Ain't gonna. You're always clubs are vying for your services because they're willing to pay you the money. Players don't stay. They're there to promote their services to get the best deal for themselves. That's what it is. Players are always seeking the best deal for themselves. If your club's going to offer you $250, and that's all they can afford, and somebody offers you $450 or $400, if you're taking that $400 or $450,
because the Sharks, they verse the Titans on Friday, and then they have the Cowboys, and then they have the Knights, and then they have the Raiders. Honestly, this is the most tantalizing run home that I've ever seen. Like, because the Cowboys are on the brink, the Knights are on the brink, and the Raiders are just there or thereabouts. And you can just imagine the Sharks literally have to win every single game.
Yeah.
And it's...
I think I tipped them. I was a bit iffy. If the only thing I see happening is swap the Sharks for Newcastle. That's how I got it. I think Para's gone. Swap the Sharks for Newcastle. That's the only thing that might happen.
Bro, I think there's nothing concrete about the Sharks.
And
that's
all of a sudden, Souths bomb out, which will be hilarious.
That'll be so funny. It'll be so good just to see Dimitra having a bit of a sook about why his team
it'll be
got
more
beat.
like their fans. I like Jason, by the way, for obvious reasons.
I don't like Jason Dimitra doesn't do it for me. I just think he's too much of a sook. He sooks at every single press conference. He has something to sook about.
He's got to be like that. He's got to take attention away from his players.
Stop sooking and start freaking coaching.
Was he going to go there and bash his players?
I actually think the Titans might get over the Sharks this week.
Go the Titans.
Honestly, they've played very good the last few weeks.
It's on the Gold Coast, eh?
Yeah.
Good. Anyways,
no, it's at PointsBet. It's in Cronulla.
What a favourable draw this side gets every year. Anyway, in big local news, the Canterbury Bankstown District's got its Junior Rugby League finals on this week. Last week was Division 2, but nobody cares about Division 2 or Division 3. So Division 1 is on this week. Big Canterbury comp, St. John's, Greenacre Tigers, Bankstown Bulls, I'm trying to know the names, Barella Bears, St. Christopher's, Milpera Colts, Reesby. Have I missed anyone?
Reesby Workers? No, I don't think so.
Trying to think who else. Oh, hang on a sec. Chester Hill Hornets.
Yeah.
There used to be a few. Oh, Bankstown Sports. Does Bass Hill have a side?
I don't know.
Anyways, match of the round is Division 1 between the Bankstown Bulls versus the Bankstown Sports. Finch is the coach of that side. So if you're watching, go out, check the draws, see where Bankstown Bulls is playing versus the Bankstown Sports. I'll be at that game. So
Go give Dibbo a thumbs up, have a bit of a yarn.
Yeah, have a yarn with me. I mean, I occasionally go out and watch the Canterbury Junior games. I don't go to the St. George ones, even though Todd Park's near my house.
So I want to end off on this. What was your play of the round? What was your moment of the round?
Oh, there were so many good tries.
Yeah.
I mean, Tigers had a cracking try. That pass that Nofaluma threw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's my play of the round. It's about a 30-metre pass. And just the trajectory, the pace, absolutely hit a flying Luke Brooks right on the chest.
Yeah.
And he's a winger, don't forget, Nofaluma. And he made that break, didn't panic. That was my play of the round. And Charlie Staines finished well in the corner.
Honestly, Charlie Staines, what a player. What an incredible player. I think he's such an underrated player.
He's very pacey, yeah. He's a fullback, though. Somehow plays on the wing.
I mean, I don't think you put him over Dream Buller at fullback, but he's such a great player.
Yeah, look, just on that topic, it's going to be a 2-horse race for Rookie of the Year. I know Buller's been great, but I just can't see him going past Jacob Preston, who week in, week out. Look, they're both playing in two lowly ranked sides this year.
But playing well above their experience level, well above their age.
And look, obviously, Buller, I think will be a runner-up, but look who he lost it to. Another noted high performer this year in Jacob Preston.
He's averaging almost 40 tackles a game.
Honestly, I don't look. I know a lot of people look at stats, and look, stats are important and all that, but I just look at the quality of Preston's on the field, what he brings, the confidence. He's just a confident player.
Yeah, he is.
He's just all there. He's a bit of a, he just brings that energy. He's a bit of a hot rod. He goes out there. He's got footwork on him. He looks to pass. He's
a smart footballer. He's a smart footballer.
Plugs away. He doesn't care that his side's severely depleted, or they got this problem or that problem. He's never sat there and he just looks forward.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, like Phil Gore was just saying, you see this guy, he's going to be our club captain one day, and he's going to be playing for New South Wales in Australia.
Oh, without a doubt.
Look, normally you wait a couple of years to see. And I think I said this early in the year. I watch Jacob Preston. He's in his 6th or 7th season. He's 200 games in. This is his 30th State of Origin coming up. And he's only in his first year, actually.
Yeah.
He's only going to get better, by the way.
Oh, 100%.
It's just scary.
He hasn't even had a full preseason. Like, he's still got time to develop his size. He's got time to develop his skill. He's just... Look,
I wonder, why did the Roosters let him go? Are they going to regret it? I think they already do. I mean, did Canterbury give him such a good offer? Is that the only reason why?
I think Canterbury...
If that's the reason, okay, I understand. But if you've let him go for didn't see anything in him, geez, that's a blunder.
I mean, I think Canterbury told him that we're going to try him we're going to give you an opportunity to debut. And I think a lot of these players want that opportunity to debut.
Because that Roosters, Roosters are still living off 2018, 2019 and 2013.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got to get over that. I think they're realising now, but
a bit too late. They've got to do a roster overhaul.
Side. I know they've signed a few players, but they've still got an aging roster. They signed Dom Hansen, whatever.
Hansen Young. Yeah.
Dom Young, or they got him. They got Spencer Leniu, but
I don't know how much they can do.
He's a great player, but
they've still got Tupou.
They got some players there that are aging. Not referring to Tupou, but I just think some players there should be moved on, or they're not the flavour anymore. Like Victor Radley's just a liability. That guy either injures himself or injured his teammate. Rory Hargraves is the same thing. Either injures himself or his teammate trying to go for a big hit.
I think the game's gone past that style of play.
These guys, have you seen how many times they've collected their own team?
Yeah.
Lindsay Collins has been on the receiving end of it so many times.
He's such a great forward, Lindsay Collins. He's such a good forward.
Like you got Penrith, you got no one there that acts like a hero that tries to clean up.
That's right.
The only guy that's a psycho there is Spencer Leniu, and he's not running over his teammates.
And he's going to the
opposition. And just on that Penrith, I got a mate, huge Penrith fan. Him and his 5 kids, Hicks. So he's a big rugby league fan. Not only does he go and watch the Penrith games, he actually will occasionally come out and go to like Canterbury games.
Nice.
He'll go to like West Tigers games, come to Cogra Oval as well. He's got, he came to Cogra, I think, for the Souths game. It was just
that's
crazy
awesome.
Crowd.
Shout out to you and your kids, Hicks.
Hicksy.
With that, I think we've sort of come to the end of the podcast. It's been a great chat, and next week's going to be very spicy, seeing what happens with the Doggies and the Knights and seeing if the Dragons get dudded again for 3rd week in a row.
I just want to point out, we actually got a special edition this week. If you want to touch on it, you probably held it as a surprise. There's another special edition. I know we had one with Keith Galloway. There is another special edition.
There's going to be...
I'll let you announce it if you want.
I think we're going to keep this one on the wraps. I think
let's let it happen first.
Yeah,
and then because we've unfortunately before said we had someone coming on and
it didn't end up
working out. It wasn't their fault.
Yeah.
Just something clashed, or they had to go somewhere for an emergency. That's how it is with the rugby league types.
That's right.
Oh, we got something big.
They've got something very, very big, quite controversial, but I think everybody will really want to hear this podcast because it will cover a lot of topics that are making the rounds in the news regarding the NRL and RLPA and some of the things that are happening in the media. But rest assured, this is going to be a very, very exciting special edition of the Kennel NRL podcast. And moving forward, it may not be every week, may not be every fortnight, but we're going to have a lot of special guests coming on and doing special one-on-one interviews and special podcasts coming out that will supplement our weekly podcast where we discuss the footy. So if you have made it this far, please be sure to like and subscribe because there is a lot of exciting stuff coming on. Be sure to tune in for that special podcast. You'll know when it comes out because it's going to be a little bit different. But thank you if you have made it this far. Thank you for all your support. Thank you to everyone that's liked, shared, and subscribed. We love doing this and we love chatting. Leave all your comments, all your opinions, everything down below and tell us what you think.
Just one other thing.
Sure.
Kiwi fans in New Zealand.
Kia ora.
Shout out. There's a lot of Canterbury Kiwi fans. So I know they tune in. Shout out to you guys as well. Sorry.
That's all good. And look, it's a great call because, here at the Kennel NRL podcast, we know our team's not going to make the 8 this year, unfortunately. So we're backing the Warriors all the way to the grand final. Yeah. If the Panthers don't win it has to be the Warriors.
Oh, look, we're not backing the Panthers. Like, we're not supporting the Panthers. We just think champion side.
Too hard to beat.
But we're actually,
we're
backing
behind
the Warriors.
Let's go on, Warriors. Come on. Our teams aren't going to make it. So that's who we're supporting this year. And with that, we'd like to say thank you so much. And we look forward to speak to you again very soon. Have a good one.